Okay, so we're on Russian turn 2 now, and what we're going to look to do before anything is we actually have to try to get those 2 tanks back in. So this is basically the rallying phase of the turn. So we're looking for a 4 to get them back in, so let's see what the die roll is. And it's a 6, so fantastic. This guy jumps back in, so he's fully operational, can move, shoot, do whatever he wants. Full gambit. And let's roll for the far guy, so another die roll, please. Go ahead, roll the dice. And look at that, another 6. So, and if you haven't noticed here, I got a few new Flames of War players, so teaching them the game at the same time. So we're all done that, so we're going to get to movement next. Go ahead.
I'm going to move these up inches so I can catch up.
Okay, so we're going to catch up on the T-34s. All right, before we do any movement, let's just figure out everything. So we're going to move these up 12 inches to catch up to this group. What are we going to do in the middle? What's IS-2s?
Take all 5 of the tanks and move it 8 inches.
Okay, so we're going to continue moving these up the 8 inches into the center of the town. And then what about this T-34 line here?
We're going to keep it moving ahead 6 inches.
Okay, we're going to move the whole line 6 inches, hopefully bring some more in line to shoot these Panzer IVs. So let's go ahead, I'll set this down and we'll do the moving. Okay, so we'll get this into position. Maybe angle this down a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead 12 inches. So I'm going to measure this first one, and then I'll let you bring the rest up. So we'll put that there. Let's move the other one up 12, so as far as the end of that. Good. And then this one can go up to about there. Okay, good, excellent. Alright, let's move the IS-2 line up. So one of the tricks to measuring, what you can do is you can measure the front guy, or here, yeah, go ahead. He goes up to that point right there, perfect. And now everybody else is, as long as they don't go really ahead of that guy, so you can move your back guy, and then everybody else can kind of move in around there. No farther than there and no further back than there. Yeah. I mean, we're not going to be real sticklers about and he can go for about right there. Now again, they're out of the way. They got nobody to shoot at yet, but they do have some guys coming into view. So as you can look through the camera, you can definitely tell. So if you're unsure, that's always a trick you can use. And let's move this T-34 line down a little bit. So again, now do you want to go forward or do you want to move them over a little bit?
Move over.
Okay, so we'll move them over. We'll move over to this side of the fountain. And then we'll move this guy down in. And then all I'll get you to do is move the rest just in. Keep the same space behind. Yep, there you go. Move him down. Keeping about 2 inches behind each one. Yep. There you go. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, so the Russians are still continuing their advance all along all the fronts. Now what we are going to do is we're going to go right into shooting, and we've already predetermined what we're going to do and how things are going to work. So I think we're going to do the artillery first. So they're going to fire this 8 battery Katyusha rockets we've discovered that one Pak 40 right beside the windmill is definitely in target range. So let's go ahead and measure. And now the Katys fire devastating bombardment, so it's actually 4 templates. So go ahead and put the corner of the template on him. One corner, so move it over just a little bit, right there. Yeah, so that's 1. So we're definitely going to catch 2 guns and 1 infantry stand. Let's move it back on this corner. There. We're going to catch a 2nd infantry. And then we're going to move it over here, and we're going to look down through. And we know for a fact we catch 1 tank. And then over, they're right there. We catch, hold it right there, and we're going to catch a 2nd tank. So we know we have 2 tanks, 2 guns, and 2 infantry. So what we're going to need, so let's grab some dice. Let's do some rolling. We're going to need, bring over 6 dice. Let's do the rolling for this. Perfect. Okay, now, first thing we need to do is we need to range in. So let's roll 1 dice. What we need, it tells you right on the template, yeah, right on the template, to hit. We're going to be hitting veterans, so we're going to need a 4 to hit them. They're not dug in, they're not concealed, they're nothing, so it's just going to be a 4, so go ahead and roll a dice. Alright, so we got a 4, so we range in the first attempt, perfect. So we know everybody underneath that template is going to be hit. So let's roll, what do you want to roll? Tanks, guns, or infantry first? Who do you want to hit first?
Tanks.
Alright, let's roll for the tanks. So let's roll 2 dice for the tanks, because there's 2 underneath there. Yep. Perfect. So, we know that they're both hit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to roll the anti-tank rating. Oh, perfect. So you hit both. Actually, you roll a 3 and a 4. My mistake. I apologize. You hit 1. So you hit 1. Now what I have to do is I have to make a save. I have to make an anti-tank save. So your anti-tank is 3, and my top armor is 1. Much like the front armor, what we need to do is I need to roll a dice to tie or beat that number. So I have a top armor of 1. You have an anti-tank of 3. I'm looking for a 2 or better. And I rolled a 5. So he's safe. So the tanks are safe. Let's go to the guns now. Roll 2 more dice. You're looking for 4s. Always looking for 4s to hit the bets. Okay, 3 and a 2 doesn't work. That's alright. Let's roll for the infantry. Again, needing 4s. 2 dice. Because there's 2 infantry stands. Okay, a 2 and a 1. So the rolling's not helping. But the advantage is, do you want to grab me a couple of those pin markers? The advantage is, because he hit him with infantry, he actually does get to pin down, despite not hitting them. He's going to pin down the infantry and the guns. So there you go. They're pinned. The tanks you can't pin, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. You can't pin down a tank. So that's it for shooting there. Let's move over and do the Russian tank shooting. Now, we've already determined that the IS-2s do not have a shot. You can clearly see here, if you draw a line down, they're not going to be able to see them there. But these T-34s definitely do. Let's bring it down. Let's do a low angle shot. Let's measure out. We got a what kind of range? 32 inch? Yeah. Alright, so we have, this guy's going to be blocked by the, he's going to be able to hit here. So he'll shoot the Yog Panther. He can hit that guy. He can hit him. He can hit him. And he can hit him. Now, it's totally up to you. You have the option of shooting at the Yog Panthers or the Panzer IVs. Now, what would you like to shoot at? It's a lot easier to kill these smaller tanks than it is the big tank. Okay, let's go for the Panzer IVs. Now, this one guy here, unfortunately, he only has a shot on the Yog Panther. So we'll roll him first. So let's make a roll. So you need a 4. Now, you need a 4, but because it's long range and he's concealed, you're going to need a 6. So we're looking for the symbol. And we get a 5. Very close. Now, you had 1, 2, 3, and 4 more guys that can shoot the Panzer IVs. So you need a 4. It's long range, but they're not concealed. So you're only going to need 5s this time. We got a 1. We got a 6. So that one will work. A 4 and a 4. So we do have 1 hit. Now, you got an anti-tank of 12. And I have a front armor of 6, but because it's long range is 7, so I'm going to look for a 5 to tie, a 6 to beat. And I rolled a 5. So it's a tie, but you can make a firepower to bail me out. So let's roll that. We're looking for a 3+. And it was this one right here. So it's a 4, so he's bailed out. So go ahead and put a bailed out marker on that front tank. So we need that round on. There you go. Yeah, put that right on there. Just right behind that first tank. Perfect. There we go. So he's bailed out. So like the T-34, he's unoperational. He can't do anything till next turn. So that ends up with the Russian turn. They don't get a stormtrooper. That's just a German special rule. So let's see what the Germans do.